Welcome to Senja office hours. I'm so glad y'all are here. I'm glad you made it. Thank you for being here. I'm Lex. I do creator relations at Senja. I'm also a marketing creator. Y'all might know Ollie and Wilson, our co-founders. They sometimes drop by, but Wilson's been hard at work on a feature that you'll get to see today as well. Today's topic is writing copy that converts from your testimonials. So you have testimonials. They can do so much more for you than just like sit on a website or sit in a social media post. They can become a messaging bank. And we have Jay here, who's a copywriter. You're going to love this because it's going to make it so much easier for you to write your messaging for sales, for promotions. And it's going to become an amazing way for you to leverage these testimonials for your customers to talk to your new customers, right? So it's like, you know what? This customer says this thing is valuable. I wouldn't have ever said that, but maybe when you hear it from them, it'll land for you better. So I'm going to walk you through how we do that at Senja. I'm going to show you our analyzer tool and then how you can pull testimonials right into your promotions. I think that's what makes it really powerful. You pull the messaging out of the testimonials and then you back it up with the testimonial. So that's what we're going to look at today. And then we have a little segment I call show and tell, where you're welcome to show us how you're using Senja. We're going to have a little bit of a discussion. We can chat about how you'll put this stuff into action or what you've been up to, what you've been selling, how you've been growing online. Welcome. I'm going to put my little intro form again in the chat. If you want to introduce yourself, that'll go on our little office hours wall of love. All right. So as we get started, I would love to hear, what are you currently promoting? So this can be like a newsletter that you're growing, right? Or a product you're selling or a service you're selling. Come off mute and tell me, what are you currently promoting right now?
Right now, I'm promoting my newsletter.
Yeah, love it. Awesome, Jay. Thanks.
I am promoting a masterclass on LinkedIn Live monetization.
Yes, you are. And I will be there. I love it. Awesome. Maya, what are you promoting right now? Anything?
Hey, I'm not promoting anything at the moment, but kind of doing a lot of R&D preparations for launch later this year.
Okay, cool. What kind of thing are you launching?
I'll be launching a series of mini courses, mini online
Awesome.
courses,
Okay,
self-paced.
perfect. Excellent. And Reginald, I know you sell consulting services, right? And you have a podcast.
Yes, to both. I'm
Awesome.
kind of like Maya. I don't feel like I'm promoting anything. However, since we last saw each other, I'm working on a low ticket offer. So
Cool. Okay,
stay tuned.
excellent. Awesome. Even when you're not in promo mode, you can always be promoting. And so we're going to talk about how to do that today. Okay. When you write conversion copy, right? Conversion copy really is about getting people to purchase something, but it can be about getting people to take any sort of transactional action. So even Jay, in your case, as you well know, communicating the value of your newsletter, getting people to sign up for your newsletter still needs a little bit of light conversion copy sometimes, right? So your conversion copy needs to communicate the value of what it is that you're offering, the value of the thing you want them to do. It's got to match your buyer's pain or situation, right? For some things, it's less pain. It's more like a situation. So they need to be like, yes, that's how I feel. That's the problem I'm having, or that's my situation. I relate to that, right? And it's got to knock down hesitations. People need to feel like all their questions are answered and they know what they're getting into and they aren't stopped by anything, right? They want all of that. They want to be hearing, yes, 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 it's for you. Yes, it's going to solve your problems. Yes, you're going to find it valuable. And people like you are also here, right? And that's why testimonials are so powerful, because people are like, well, is this really for me? And it's like, yes, here's a bunch of people like you. Here's what people like you have said. It is for you. So this is where testimonials come in, because you can grab those keywords from your customers and build trust with the vocabulary that matches your other customers' language, right? So you're having your customers talk to each other and you're sort of stepping out. As creators, as founders, as owner operators, we get in our own head about what we're offering. We often see the value of what we're providing differently than our customers do, right? So when you use your testimonials, you're not just injecting your perspective, but you're pulling from all the perspectives of your audience. And this is why next week, I think we're doing an import session. This is why I recommend grabbing like all the stuff people are saying about you online, not just like formal testimonials, shout outs, posts that people are putting on social media, podcast reviews, Reginald, in your case, so that you can pull all these things people are saying about you and sort of use this wide array of motivations, of intrigue, of interest, of value. What are people loving about what you're doing, right? What are you solving for them? It might be totally different than what you think you're solving, right? So this is why testimonials are so powerful in messaging. When it comes to communicating the value, you can pull exactly what your customers love about you, right? What is the one thing that LaShonda thinks is super valuable? I want to know that, right? As a customer who relates to LaShonda. You can pull your pain points really quickly. People will say things in their shout outs or in their testimonials about what you solved for them. So you can pull that stuff in. And you can use quotes that confirm this is for me. This is where backing the messaging up with testimonials is incredibly powerful, right? Because it's one thing for you to be like, we make everything super easy. It's like, okay. But then you back that up with Reginald saying, it was so easy. I did it in less than an hour. Now I believe you, right? I've gone from like, I have no idea, you could just be blowing smoke, to yes, I buy this because one of your customers said it. It is amazing how much trust you can build that way. So we're pulling these messaging angles and then we're backing them up with a testimonial. That's what makes this so, so powerful. Okay. Are you ready to buff up your copy? Yes. I know y'all are awake. Okay, amazing. Is everyone here in the US? It's very early here in the US. So I understand if people are feeling sleepy. I'm also feeling sleepy. All right. So I would invite you to follow along with me in your Senja account. So if you're up for it, just log into Senja and follow along. You will recognize this. This is your Senja dashboard, right? And on the side here, you have like our recommended order. Collecting testimonials is up top. You've got managing testimonials second. You've got sharing testimonials third. And then right below that, we've got this little feature here called Analyze. Has anyone here used Analyze before? No. Reginald, have you used it before?
No, I didn't even know it existed.
Yeah, it's secret. I mean, it's not secret, right? Because it's there, but it's like down below all the stuff you've probably been using, right? Like, I think a lot of us live up here
Yeah.
in collect and manage, and maybe a little bit in studio, but Analyze is this like low-key feature down here. That's hard to spot, and that's why we're talking about it today. Okay, so Analyze is where you get a little bit of AI in your Senja, and it's going to take all your testimonials and kick back to you themes across your testimonials, right? So I'm in Senja's account, so we have a lot of testimonials in here. I can show you my other account where I have like 100 testimonials. And this is what's so powerful about this, right? Because it's like, you've got all these testimonials, you can go through them one by one, but Senja's going to do it for you. So we love that, right? So we already talked about what do customers love about you? Might be different from what you think. So you can hit this button here. What do customers love? It's going to analyze all your testimonials. It just pulls them all in. You don't have to do anything else. It's just as easy as it just looked like it was. And it's going to kick back to you what customers love about you. Here we go. Customers love about Senja that it's easy to use and intuitive. It saves a bunch of time. It's highly customizable. Excellent customer support. That's a good one for an app, right? Affordable pricing, beautiful designs. So we can go through here knowing what we know about our own audience, knowing what people are getting stuck on, knowing what people are looking for from us. And we can say, oh yeah, I don't know that I would have ever said that Senja was helpful for increasing conversions by showcasing social proof. I should really highlight that because that's what people are talking about, right? Or I would never have thought to talk about our customer support, but actually our customers keep saying that. So maybe we should include this in our messaging, right? So what I can do here is I can grab this, so you can actually copy the entire thing and just paste it into a doc. But let's say I'm like, okay, customers love how responsive we are. I want to know more about what they're saying. So then I can just grab this keyword responsive, go back into my testimonials, hit search for that keyword and see if I can find anything. I'm not sure why that, I feel like people have talked about us being responsive. But you can also search like other keywords and see if you can find anything about how the team is responsive, right? What is it that we're doing? How are people talking about us? If we go back into the analyzer, let's see if we can pull another quote in here. What else do people love about us? We know that we're responsive. We know that they love the design. And then when we grab those quotes and we find those testimonials, we can start to tag them so that we can find them later as well, right? Let's try time. Let's see if we can find any for time. I feel like I'm having a small internet problem this morning because I searched for some of these earlier. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, well, let me look through here and give you an example from here. Okay, so the search should work for you. It was working for me yesterday. I think I'm having an internet connectivity problem. But you can look in here for these keywords, and then you can grab them and say, okay, I want to use this in my marketing. So I'm going to edit the testimonial. I'm going to grab this and I'm going to call it a highlight. And now I can save this and I can turn it into a widget, right? I can share it. I can download an image right here and I can upload it into my marketing. So if I'm promoting my LinkedIn Live Masterclass, as LaShonda is, and someone already talked about my skills on LinkedIn, I can just grab that, share it, and say, okay, here we go. Here's the thing that I want to back that up with. I'm writing my LinkedIn post. People are saying that it helps with credibility. And here's Laura with the backup proof, right? So you're going from I've got the message to and I have the proof. It's like a 1-2 punch. And then, as I mentioned, you can also tag this stuff, right? So if you're like, oh, okay, that's a good one, I really want to remember that, you can add a tag in here and you can say results, right? Or you can say small business or something like that. These are our tags, so you'll create your own and it'll give you some ideas about how you might want to tag your testimonials. Okay, any questions about the analyzer for customer love? I'm going to show you some other ones in here. Jay, you look pensive. You're good. Okay. All right. So the second thing we talked about was pain, right? We want to know the pain points that we're solving for. So if we hit pain, we're going to get another list of pain. And these are really good because, again, customers say this stuff differently than you think about it, right? We get really excited about our solutions, about our courses, about our services, and customers surface stuff that like maybe we would never have thought of, right? This is a good one. Managing and redistributing testimonials was friction filled. Senja simplified pushing testimonials. So again, we can grab this, we can copy the whole thing, we can pull this into our messaging doc and we can say, okay, this is the angle that we want to work on pain. And then we can go back into our testimonials and see if we can find something around that, right? What is it that we can pull here? And again, I would try search, like it should work for you fine. I'm not sure why it's not working for me this morning. And then you can just grab this testimonial in. It was quick and seamless, right? You thought that it would take forever, but actually it was incredibly fast. And then we can just tag and keep it. This is really great. Like I think, Maya, when you launch your course, this is a great feature to use with your existing audience. So if you have followers on any social channel, if you have an email list, you can collect just audience feedback about your expertise. And then you can pull that in and like pre-sell the course, right? So even before people have taken the course, you can establish that credibility rather with people in your audience who are already speaking about you. And you can use this in the same way. So it's sort of like warm launches for you, where you build that credibility off of your expertise and not necessarily off of the exact product that you're selling. This is great for those of us who launch many things or have like multiple channels. There's a couple other things that you can try in here. You can use common phrases. This is really good if you sell something that's like a little technical maybe, but your customers might describe it differently. Like Reginald, in your case, in the fashion industry, there's a lot of terminology that you might use, but maybe your customers will say it differently. So you can grab the language that they use, right? The vocab that they use. So this could be really good for technical translations, right? And then you can, again, copy this right out of here. And then what can be improved is really interesting because this will go two ways with the AI and Senja. It'll either kick back to you what you can improve about your product, about your service, or it'll kick back what you help improve. So it kind of depends on this little try it again feature. So we'll see which one we get. It's a little bit of a roulette. Adding a little AI magic. What can we improve, right? So this is areas of improvement for Senja. Here's some things that we can do. This would be less for messaging and more for just like the way that we are going to continue building. How do we better match what our customers need? Keep up doing this, continue expanding features, think about automation, right? So this can be really great if you run a membership or even in the podcasting realm where people can surface stuff back to you. And maybe they're like, oh, I really love it. I also wish you did this, or I wish you covered that. This can surface some of that stuff in your testimonials. And it's really great if you are collecting stuff from social media, you have a lot of stuff coming in here, a lot of word of mouth. Let me show you mine. I have one on my personal account. Switching browsers over here. So this is for my marketing work. You can say I have less testimonials in Senja, but not by much. I'm catching up to them. And when I say what can be improved, I've noticed it gives me a slightly different list. So this is from stuff like my membership, my newsletter, social shout outs just about my expertise, right? So these are some things that people love about me, right? People are interested in building authentic relationships. I'm providing this kind of stuff now, right? I have a supportive community. So some of these things are things that I'm already doing, and they sort of reinforce what people love, what people are getting out of this. And then of course you can hit try it again as many times as you want. You can get back a bunch of stuff, right? Oh, Jay, go ahead.
So do you have one form or several forms in your personal Senja?
I have 3 forms in my personal Senja.
So
But a
this will
big,
aggregate all of the responses from all of your forms.
yes, it will. It'll take in everything. And I also do a ton of like social imports. So anytime anyone talks about me online, I put that in Senja. Even if someone like says something nice in a Slack community, I will put that in Senja because I use it as a messaging bank, and I really recommend like learning how to do that too, or like working on that in Senja, because I think it's so powerful when you do that. Even if it's like these are good examples, right? I had you guys put intros in here. These are not testimonials about Senja that we would publish as testimonials. I'm using them on this specific wall of love, and they give us some insight into who our customers are. So it becomes like a database for us. So I think like I wrote in this week's newsletter, which is coming out later this week, I think we're a little precious about how we pull testimonials in, and it's like they need to be like handed to us like this is your testimonial. But actually like pulling in shout outs and like raw things people are saying makes it so much more valuable as a messaging bank and as a sales tool. What do you think?
Good reminder.
I can't wait to hear what you think, Jay, when you get in here as a writer and an editor. Okay, so as I mentioned, you can grab keywords from these reviews, and then you can also start tagging them, right? So I loved this like credibility one. So in tags, you might say, add a new tag, testimonial focus, and then I might add credibility, right? And it'll give you some suggestions here. And then I can create that as I'm doing this exercise of going through my testimonials using the analyzer. I can tag all my testimonials that have that thing. Maybe you have a common objection, right? People are like, price might be an objection, right? So I can go into testimonials and I can see if there's anything about price, or anything about value or anything about results. I'm really striking out here on my search terms. And I can tag and say, okay, this is all the stuff that we've done, all the results that we've gotten for people who are concerned about price. And then I can grab somebody's testimonial that addresses that. And I can say, okay, this one was about results. I'm going to tag it results. And now I know when I'm doing my launch, I can pull all the testimonials about results, and I can be reminded of the case studies people have shared, of the things that they appreciated about it, about the results that they actually got. And then, like I said, you can just easily hit share, download the image, or create a widget right from here, right from this view. This is the new view, by the way. This is our new customer view, which launched today. So like if you go to me, I've left Senja a bunch of testimonials. You can see everybody's reviews like over time. I think that I have more than one account. Let's see. I know some people have more than one. Let's see if Jay has more than one. Here we go. So this is like all of the stuff that Jay has ever said about Senja, right? It's something from Product Hunt. We've got something from Twitter, something from LinkedIn, something that was just imported right into Senja. So we can see like our client over time, right? So if you're working with someone over the course of the year, you can get more than one testimonial from them. Maybe they're saying stuff about you online. You can pull it all into one place. And then you can tag it, right? This is him talking about this. This is him talking about this other thing. That's sort of an aside. I'm excited about that feature. All right. So you grab your testimonials, you grab your messaging, and you're going to put it into some prompts, put it into some messaging prompts. I have some messaging prompts for you. If you want to talk about what your customers love, you can use these prompts, right? What if you could insert love highlight here, right? What if you could have more credibility for your business? Laura says Senja helps with adding credibility through social proof, because you can back all of your promises up with testimonials. Our customers love most how we, what, right? What is it that customers love? And then back it up with a testimonial, right? Don't just blow smoke. What do they actually love? Show us that they actually love it. We're consistently praised for doing this. Biggest value, right? So these are some prompts. You can plug those messaging quotes that the analyzer kicks out for you right in here, and then show us a testimonial, show us two, show us a whole wall of love, right? Solving pain points. This customer, I love this. It's like a little bit of a case study format. Laura couldn't believe they wasted so much time with Google Sheets management. Now they're using Senja, right? The top thing Senja solves is how painful it is to collect testimonials, right? You'll never deal with the mess of spreadsheets again, right? We know you're sick of writing your own sales copy, and that's why you have Senja. So you can grab these things in, use these prompts. I'm going to show these prompts in the recap, and you're also welcome to power them up with AI, right? So you've got AI on the Senja side. You can kick them over to another AI tool and sort of work through. I'm uploading my testimonials. I'm uploading these talking points I want to cover. What can you generate for me? How can I get some copy out of this? And then confirm this is for me, I think is really powerful too, because you can grab your folks by persona. If you saw in here, we have folks tagged by persona, and that's one of our, business type. I think we also have company size in here. So you can tag folks by like what kind of customer they are, and you can have them talk to each other in that way. So if you have like consumer customers, or maybe you have a certain slot of professionals, or maybe your newsletter audience is different than your course audience, you can tag them that way and you can pull those in. So then you can say, this kind of customer wasn't sure we could do this, right? Sally, who was a working mom, wasn't sure that we could help with school school event organization, but actually they said that this made it so easy to collect all the testimonials in just one click, right? That kind of thing. So you give a little example, you back up your promise, and then you help people understand, this is for me. People like me are doing this. This is for me. So it's that combination, I think, of what your customers say and then like showing that it's actually them that really builds that credibility for you. Any questions about the copy prompts or how you might use this, or ideas here? I'm open to ideas if y'all have ideas. Are the wheels turning?
Well, just for clarity, so you're saying we could put this prompt, one of these prompts, into analysis, and then
No, what you would do is put the analysis like info in here, right? So if I go back to the analysis tool and I say, what do my customers love about me? I would grab something from here and just slot it into one of these prompts. And then if you want to, you could take it over to ChatGPT or Claude or Pi and like try to workshop it in there if you want to continue using AI. But like, okay, here's a good one, right? So this is customers love that Senja is fast loading and lightweight. So that I would call that a love highlight. Again, I would copy this whole thing because you never know what kind of gems are in here. But for now, I'm going to say fast loading and lightweight. So I would just plug that in. Our customers love most how we're fast loading and lightweight. So that's a complete line of copy, right? We're
gotcha.
consistently praised for our excellent features and constant improvements. You can just like insert this stuff into the copy prompts. And then if you're a copywriter like Jay, or if you really want to finesse it, you're going to workshop that into a story, right? You're going to workshop that into a subject line. So like with subject lines, for example, or with like a social media hook, fast loading and lightweight isn't that interesting of a social media hook or a newsletter subject line, but maybe I would riff on that with a tool like ChatGPT, with a tool like Claude, right? So it's like, okay, give me 10 hooks about being fast loading and lightweight. And then I think you'll get even better results from an AI tool if you load in some testimonials, right? So I need 10 LinkedIn hooks about being fast loading and lightweight. Use these 3 quotes from my customers to generate them. And I don't know, like I've been noticing a lot, I do a lot of newsletter stuff. I've been noticing that like quotes from customers or readers are becoming more common as hooks, as like subject lines and as openers. Like I've never told anyone this, or I didn't think it could do that kind of stuff that like really teases something. You're like, okay, what are you talking about? So that's where using the testimonials as the copy as well is really helpful. Jay, are you seeing that stuff in the newsletter realm?
Honestly, no, I'm not.
I
Not
just
yet,
got an
not yet
email.
anyway.
I just got an email from Jason Levin earlier this week. He runs like a meme membership, and in the body of the email, he just used a screenshot that said like, I've never told anyone this. It was like someone talking to him, and it's like, well, what? I've never told anyone what, right? Like, tell me more about that story. So you like enter right in the middle of the story. It's like very campfire-esque. So what I would do with these copy prompts is I would take the output from the analyzer in Senja. I would just plug them right in here in a very basic way, right? The top thing that it solves, right? The top thing that my membership solves is what? Generate the pain points, put it in here. Now you have the basis of your conversion copy. And then you can workshop it. You can say, okay, well, this is going on LinkedIn, so I'm going to LinkedInify this hook, right? How might I LinkedInify this hook? But I know what I'm trying to communicate here, right? Getting customers to actually leave testimonials. That's a great one for us, right? So Sally couldn't believe they wasted so much time getting customers to actually leave testimonials. So now I know what I want to say and who I'm talking to and who I'm bringing in. I can pull in her quote by going back here, finding Sally in my database in Senja, and then I can turn that into something that makes sense for that channel. So it becomes like the basis of your copy, and then you can turn it into a hook, turn it into a subject line. These are some of the places where you can use that copy. In emails, subject lines I think are great. Like pulling testimonial quotes into subject lines, as I already said, I think is a great strategy to get people to open. You can put the quotes around it or not. You can use it as your opener. In your promotional emails, in your newsletters, this is great. Like Jay, for your newsletter and Reginald for your podcast, using testimonials and using what people are saying about your show, about the issues in the edition itself can be great, right? So you can say, forward this to a friend. Jay says it's the best thing she reads every morning, right? You just add a little bit of motivation in there from one of your customers. So it's not just you talking all the time, your audience is talking for you. Product pages. So in the course example, if you're selling a service, you can add this messaging there. Customers love this. They say it solves this. Here's the quotes to back it up. Obviously, landing pages. You can use it in header copy. You can use it farther down. We had a great example from Donald at Meta about how he's using testimonials, where he's got them right up here, right? So he's saying it's super fast and affordable. And it's like, okay, Donald, but guess what? My clients are saying, or my customers are saying it's reliable, it's smart, it's simple and easy to use. So he's backing up this copy with the testimonials. But this is the kind of stuff that the analyzer will just kick out to you. This is what my customers say. Great. And here's them actually saying it. And then, you know, he's got this wall of love, which again backs up his assertions. So it's that combination, I think, of the messaging that comes from the customers and then actually what they said. Webinars is great if you're pitching on webinars, like LaShonda, if you're still here, I know you're going to pitch on your webinar, your membership. This is where I would definitely use this technique. So it's not like me, LaShonda, I think that this is the benefit. I think that this membership is great. I designed it for this reason. It solves blah, blah, blah. It's like Lex loves this about it. Jay loves this about it. Reginald said it fixed this, right? So now you're working different motivational angles by having your customers talk to each other. Well, if you are an organic farmer, you might relate to Mark, and Mark says this about why he's in my membership, right?
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I'm curious, like in terms of getting testimonials from existing members, what do you suggest to do to get them? Because they've been in there for a while, so it's not like,
Yeah.
you know.
I mean, I would
are
send them
your
a note.
suggestions now?
I would send them a note either inside your membership, you can send them a note, or you could email them and you could just make an ask that's like, hey, I'm collecting, you know, what it is that you love most, or why you decided to join, or what you're getting out of this. And then you would just use the Senja form. Just make a little Senja form.
Well, there you
So
go.
it's
You'll be
so
getting a form,
easy.
ma'am.
It's so easy. Yeah. I have so many form examples, and we actually did an office hours a couple weeks ago about how to make the ask, and I pulled a bunch of examples. And you could do something like this. So I really want in this case like video testimonials. So whenever I want a video testimonial, I like to record a video, but you can do text or video. You can do both. You can give them one option. Very easy, and then you can actually just kick it right over to a wall of love like this. So that you have them, but they'll go into your Senja database. So you can use them on your webinars. You can use them in ad creative. Have y'all ever seen ad creative with testimonials in it or with angles like that?
Mhm.
Customers love this, right? Here's so-and-so saying, I cleaned my house in 2 minutes. Yes, Jay.
I think it was an Ollie suggestion because this is why I even started a Wall of Love for Boss Squad. But one of his emails was like, why do you even want the testimonials? Is it because you want a pat on the back? Is it because you want to increase sales? Is it that you want to increase membership? And so for my case with Boss Squad, it was for more members. So my ask for them was, do we want to see this community improve, increase, whatever? Help me to do that by sharing what you love about it or something like that. And that's how I initially got, I think it was like the first 10 testimonials that I used then after that in other stuff. So that came from Ollie.
Yeah, I love it. Ollie's been thinking also about, for memberships specifically, since both of you have memberships, using it also for onboarding members. So like collecting things that members would recommend like new members do or take advantage of. So you could also use it that way. And then create a wall of love that you would share back to members, like, you know, members that have been with me for, yeah, exactly, LaShonda, like members who've been here for 3 to 6 months, they really recommend that you do this, right? Or take advantage of this, or put this in your calendar, or check out the recap of whatever, right? And so, and that I think is incredibly effective if you can get the video testimonials from members. It's like, hey, I'm Lex. I've been in Jay's Boss Squad for 2 months, and you know, I really love the Wednesday office hours, and I really recommend you go to those or whatever, right? Especially if you have a lot going on in your membership. So using it for member onboarding and retention is also a cool way to use Senja. I would love to see an example. So if anyone does it, please come back and show us. Yeah, ad creative is a fantastic way to use this. And whether you're doing like newsletter sponsorships, like LaShonda is now, you're using Facebook ads where you have like a visual creative, or you're using Google ads, you can use these messaging angles right in there. Customers love how our, turnaround time is 2 days, right? And then you can use the quotes in there, or you can just use the messaging angles. Product hunt, if you're doing any launches there. Gumroad, I think I showed this last time because Jay, you brought it up. But I use Senja all over my Gumroad, right? I've got like my little stars and avatars widget there, and then I've got quotes in there. And then this line really comes from the things that I kept hearing from my base, right? What if you always knew where to find your next client? I would describe this differently, right? I would take a more high level, like strategic message with this. So I initially called this map your path to more clients, and everyone was like, no, Lex, this is what we actually would say. This is what I would say about you to someone else. And now it's my messaging angle, right? And then I back it up with an actual quote. Social media, in hooks, in posts. I see people use the Senja like image downloads as posts. So that's great during a launch or during a promotion, or if you're promoting a podcast episode, right? Take those images right out of Senja Studio. I'm going to close the tab. And take them over to social media and use the analyzer to write your hooks for you, to help you write the hooks, right? So in Studio here, just grab the images. Down here, put them on your social media. Super easy. Amazon, if anyone's writing a book, right? We know reviews are huge on Amazon, and you can always send people over to Amazon to get the reviews and then import that stuff into Senja, right? We import from Amazon, Reddit, all kinds of places. Twitter, LinkedIn, Zillow, like all this stuff. You can import all this stuff. And I already mentioned last time, Reginald, for you, Apple Podcasts, we'll just pull that stuff in automatically if we know your podcast URL. So get all that stuff into Senja and then kick it back off to these platforms so that it sells more for you. Kajabi, course platforms, you can grab all that stuff in and then kick it right back out to those places. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Jay. Oh, yeah. Tell us about that.
So yeah, that came from Ali too. And one of the newsletters suggesting ways to use Senja. And so I added it to the chat.
Oh my God,
You know,
cool.
when someone confirms a meeting, redirecting to, thanks for scheduling time with me. And it's a different way of setting up a love wall, but then having extra link if you've got a CTA right there. I thought that was probably the best way of using a love wall. So I love
Yes.
that. And people, when they have a meeting with me, they comment on this the most.
Yes, because they're like probably super blown away.
I mean, and I pulled like everything,
Yes.
LinkedIn, past client, like I pulled that's my one aggregate page for everything. But obviously I have separate ones for Boss Squad and separate ones for the newsletter. But yeah, this one gets the most comments.
This is genius. I love this, right? Because it's like people expect just like a boring message that's like, thanks, see you next week or whatever. But here you are saying, oh, actually, you can like get really excited about meeting with me, and here's why people love me. And then I
Yeah.
love this because then it's like probably your about page or something. Yeah. So that's awesome because then people can get even more ready for your meeting. And then just for those who don't know, you can also add like more links up here. You can add CTAs inside the wall of love. Like if you're using this in a more transactional way, like if you're using it for like a membership or something, you can add, there's like a CTA, a dynamic CTA that you can add into your wall of love. So
I
like
also
with
use
this
it
one.
for subscribing. So for my newsletter subscribers, they get that welcome email that says, hey, thanks for subscribing. Oh, you may not have known that other people before you loved it or whatever. And I have it in that welcome, and then it links to, I put it in the chat, another love wall. So I think I have 3.
I love it. I love it. This is how you add the inline CTA. So it's just like in the settings of the wall of love. And then I don't think we have enough. We might not have enough testimonials. It'll show up down here as like a little, like if you have a long testimonial wall, it'll show up farther down. So like for the podcast, or even for newsletter stuff, you could send even current members here and have this be like open the form. You can add other calls to action, or you can make it be like a sign up page. Yeah. Oh, Jay, this is such a great example. I gotta get this out on the Senja account. It's so good. I love it.
Came from
Okay.
Ollie. Ollie's awesome.
I know Ollie's kicking out the examples every day. It's so good. Okay. Which analyze mode resonated the most with you? Love, pain, common phrases, or what can be improved? Love, yeah. Common phrases. Yeah. I love that. It's really good too if you're like rebranding, or you're like, what is it that people like about me? What is it that they are saying? What's the word? Like for me, one of the common phrases that came up in mine was that I'm not one size fits all. And that's like not something that I would ever have said, but a bunch of my testimonials said that, right? So it's interesting what comes up in there. It gets you thinking about this stuff differently too. Love it, Reginald. We love the love. Okay, what's one place you think that you can use your new copy? Where can you use your testimonial copy? What's one place that's coming to mind? Well, LaShonda, you're going to use it in your masterclass pitch, right? And you can copy Jay. Yeah, the Calendly redirect is good. Emails. Yes, Reginald. Emails on the podcast side, for the services side, for the consulting stuff.
Definitely the services side. And also, I wanted to give a shout out. I did not know that I could just give my podcast link. I'm like, man, you guys are really trying to get me to the paid plan. I'm only one
Yeah.
away anyway.
It's worth it. It's so worth it.
Oh, I know it is. No, I mean, she knows. I mean, you saw me last week, Jay. I'm like, no, I'll wait. I don't want to wait until I have to. Till they send me the email going, hey, bud, you're filled up. But I really, I said, whoa, I literally copied your link. I keep tabs in business. That tab will stay up because that was really cool to see that. So thank you.
Yeah. Jay's examples that you're talking about, Reginald?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So
That was
good.
directed to Jay. It's really
Yeah.
cool.
Jay, why do you say it's worth it?
Just to have access to all of the features, because I feel like I was like Reginald. I felt like I was a little kid in dodgeball, not getting picked to play. I'm like, I want to play. I want to do all the stuff. So yeah, I didn't want to, but I felt I had to because I wanted all the toys.
Yeah, I think the main thing for me, like when I upgraded back when I was just a little user of Senja before I worked here, like if you're limited by the amount of testimonials that you can collect, then you limit sort of how you utilize them. And I think the more you see it as just like, I want to collect all of the stuff people are saying about me online, and I want like the most of that rather than like just the 15, right? Just a few. And then you start using it as a messaging bank. You start pulling from Senja as the place where you are working those conversion angles. It just changes how you sell. It changes how you promote, right? So, and with the podcast or with newsletter stuff, you can pull topics out of there and you can say, you guys left me this note about how you really wanted to hear about how to style suits, right? Or whatever the angle is. Reginald's in fashion, so that's why I say that. And then you can pull that in through the whole podcast. You can say, this is where this episode came from. You inspired this. It really helps your audience feel like they're part of your plan. And so I just think it's so much more powerful than like replacing a spreadsheet, right? It's about having this database that you can use for messaging, that you can use to drive your own direction and what you decide to build and how you decide to build it. Okay, last question before we wrap up. What's one thing that would make it easier for you to use Senja in your copywriting?
Probably more integrations, which I know is odd to say because there are already so many, but still having to copy paste from Gumroad is
Mhm.
a big one for me because Gumroad doesn't alert you when you get a new testimonial. So I'm always like surprised. I go to a product and I'm like, oh, wait, there's another one. So it
Yeah.
would be great to either have a way to import that or have it automate or, create a Zap or something like that. That would make it easier. But outside of that, it's super easy already.
Yeah. Have you tried a Zap? I wonder if that feature is available on the Gumroad API.
I don't know. I'll have to check for that.
I'll look into it. Because I agree, the Gumroad thing would be great. More integrations, Gumroad. Any other tools come to mind, Jay?
That's the big one for me. I feel like I'm getting a lot more testimonials to that, especially since I added my newsletter to Gumroad. And just makes it
Cool.
easier to integrate and get affiliates and have them on the same place. But if I move to Lemon Squeezy, that would be another good place to think about an integration. But outside of that, I can't think of anywhere else because LinkedIn worked great. That import was freaking fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't think of WordPress. I don't use anymore. So, but I know that that's an integration too. So yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. With Lemon Squeezy and with Stripe and even with Gumroad, one thing that you can do is like as soon as a transaction hits, you can send a testimonial form if you're using Zapier. So that's something that you can do. But when it comes to like reviews that are left on their platform, pulling them back into Senja, it depends so much on the API. And I think in Gumroad's case right now that it's not available, but I will check. And I love that tip about Lemon Squeezy. Yeah. Awesome. Anything else that would make it easier to use Senja with your copy? All right, we'll wrap it up. Look at my meme, y'all. Somebody help me turn Snoop's jacket into purple to match the Senja logo. Did anybody watch the Olympics? Do we have any Olympics fans here? No, just like absolutely
Yeah,
not.
definitely.
I love it. Well, next year it's all going to be about Senja 2024. Snoop's repping and we will be too. Okay, come back next week. Next week's is really fun. This is called, I'm calling it Testimonial Treasure Hunt. We're going to look on the internet and pull in testimonials from all these different things. So Jay was saying LinkedIn import. We're going to look at things like Reddit. We're going to look at Amazon, all these different places, podcast stuff. So if you're like, wow, I just like don't know where all these shout outs are. I don't know how to get all this stuff into Senja. Come and let's do it next week. And then after this, you're going to get a testimonial form. You'll get a recap and it'll ask you, what did you think? What do you want to see? And I want to hear what you want to see. I'm planning the next set of office hours. So if there's something that you're trying to solve in your business, anything really is fair game. Because I can probably come up with a way for you to use Senja inside that, whether you're onboarding people, promoting something, hiring people, trying to retain members, trying to reduce churn, any of that stuff. There's a lot that we can do there. So let me know when you get your little form after this. Thanks so much for being here and thanks for coming back.